Check. 1, 2.
Are we doing this right now?
Yeah. We're back. We're back.
Man.
We're back after the bunny hopped over Easter weekend.
Yeah.
Why don't we just keep sipping coffee? Why
Keep
do we
sipping
have
coffee?
to? Why do we have to make it official? I don't even feel like doing it.
That's what we do anyways.
Isn't that what this is about?
Well, let's make it
Not
more natural
really
than
doing
today.
anything?
It's good because I got nothing.
We were supposed to talk.
I got nothing.
We got tons of
Well,
stuff.
I got 2 picks. Sorry, that's it.
I got
We
feedback.
got 4 picks because I have 2 picks too.
Yeah, well, let's do picks.
I feel like
So just 4 picks, like 5-minute podcast.
Okay, yeah,
Just
4
shut it
picks
down.
and that's it.
20 minutes. 20 minutes and we're done.
Didn't we want to talk about like?
You just said you had feedback. What are you talking about?
We got to talk
yeah,
about
my brother.
Okay,
about New
good.
York City. We got to talk about the flower.
Okay.
The
We
flower.
we got stuff, man.
Oh, we don't have
All
to.
right. Let's keep this short then.
Let's just get it over with.
Let's get it going.
Warning, this podcast will be an injurious waste of your time. Warning, this podcast will be an injurious waste of your time.
Yeah, good morning. I'll take a medium with 2 sugar and a medium regular, please.
Morning, boys.
Duff.
Morning, Duff.
I
Morning,
almost said
DDT.
it.
Thanks for the coffee,
Almost said
JB.
the name.
Well, it was very confusing this morning because we're like,
Yeah.
where are we going?
Yeah.
And then it's like,
We
let's
always
go to
rely on Duff though.
McDonald's.
We rely on
That's
Duff.
true.
He
to-
does kind of lead us, doesn't he?
He
Duff
does.
got
He's the
here
leader.
today at
He's the leader.
9:58.
He
I'm
passive aggressively leads
yeah.
us.
I got here at 9:58 and I said, screw this. I'm not getting the coffee. I parked here and waited, and then JB shows up, and then
Yeah.
you show up.
I pull up
Yeah.
to Duff, and it's like, did you get coffee? No.
No.
And I'm
No.
looking for your car, and
Yeah.
you're not around either.
he
So I'm
went.
like, I went
Yeah.
and got coffee, and
No,
then
I
they got
did it
the
on
order
purpose.
wrong.
Yeah.
Then we had to go back and fix it.
Yeah.
Got the order wrong.
Just one of those mornings.
I do that on purpose.
Nobody's
I
heart
know
is
you
in it
do.
this morning. Not even the McDonald's
No.
person making the coffee.
No,
But I'm reading the 3 labels. There's the medium with 2 sugar, the medium black, and oh, great, another medium black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You caught on.
So
quick on
JB
that
goes,
one.
well, can you just drink black? Right after I had said before that, no, I can't.
Yes.
I could drink a black during the week if I have to, but
Yeah.
on the weekend, I want my treat.
No, you
Yes.
said that way after.
Oh, was it after?
Oh yeah. Well, actually, after we went through the drive-thru.
Oh, I
to fix
explained it after.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, we drove through the drive-thru.
Regardless.
Took a lot of explaining to the lady. She couldn't believe I just wanted a cream and sugar for the coffee that you messed up.
You know what?
Anyways,
I always check the order now because they've messed up so many times in the past. Everyone.
This is why we go to Tim Hortons.
This is why we prefer Tim Hortons.
Yeah. They
No.
always get. They
I
always
got
get
my
the-
order messed up at Tim Hortons last
never,
weekend.
Never.
too.
They always get the order right.
Coming back from Sudbury, I go in. Of course, my son was like,
Was this Deep River?
no, it was Mattawa.
Oh, yeah, the new one in
good old
Mattawa.
Mattawa.
Yeah. So I go there, and my son's in line, but he's like, I don't know, and so I'm like, what do you want? So, and then I said his order,
I
but I
find
messed
most of
it
our
up.
children have never been to Tim Hortons before.
Really?
Yeah, they get in line and they just have no idea what to get.
My kids know. But he was, I don't know what he was doing. He
You're not
was
getting what I'm
asleep.
saying. Of
I think
course,
that's
they've
just-
friggin' been there. They
I think
just
that's just in general.
Oh,
they
yeah.
have
Sorry.
decision.
Yeah.
Decision anxiety.
decision analysis.
I'm not awake.
paralysis.
Analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, so then I said, I messed up his order because he said, I want bacon, whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay, he'll have bacon, whatever. And he's like, no, not that one. Oh, okay. And then I said my order.
Yeah.
And then when I got back to the car, of course, they had the 2 bacon ones that he had ordered and they didn't have mine.
So you
Wow.
confuse the poor kid.
So I had to go back in,
I blame you.
Yeah, pretty much.
and then they gave it to me for free.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I said, I'll pay for it. And she's a nice lady there. Was like, no,
In the
don't
old
worry
days, I
about it.
used to order Big Macs,
Yeah.
but I hated the sauce, right? So I'd always order them with no sauce. And I didn't actually hate the sauce. I just realized the little loophole in the system
Oh,
to
you'd
get
ask.
3 Big Macs. So I'd ask for no sauce. About half the time I would have sauce, I'd take the world's biggest bite and then say, I ordered this with no sauce. And they're like, no problem. We'll give you another. I'm like, you don't want this back? Oh, no.
Yeah, take a bite. You want it, Mac?
So
Sure.
I'd often get my Big Mac with sauce and then a nice fresh one with no sauce.
Nice.
I'll be darned.
Nice.
Yeah. We should
That's
try
a
that
good
again.
idea.
Yeah,
Let's
no
go
kidding.
through the drive-thru now and see while we're on the podcast and give it a try.
Live.
Yeah, live.
Live.
Exactly.
See if it works.
A Big Mac with no sauce.
Social experiment.
Yeah, let's try. You go order your Big Mac, and then we'll
Yeah.
we'll drive
That's where-
around again.
That's where we should be
You'll take
taking
a bite
this
as
show.
you'll take a bite as you're driving around,
Oh, yeah.
and you'll have sauce,
Yeah.
and then you'll. But what if it doesn't have sauce?
Or we could bring back the
That's the thing. Half the time they do get it right,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yes.
we
Yeah.
could bring back the
50-50.
A versus B segment live, where we actually go to
forgot
like
about
McDonald's
that.
and get a Big
Yes.
Mac, and
And
then
then-
go to get a Whopper.
Oh,
And then we
I
could
love the
compare
Whopper. I
live
would-
on the
I
air.
would take the Whopper. I think.
Yeah,
I don't
the,
think I've eaten Burger King for
the
20
Whopper.
years.
The Whopper would take the
Remember, we're coming back from Toronto that before
so good.
from that tournament we
Yeah.
went to, and you're driving, and you got nice and healthy, and I went and got the Whopper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Whopper's awesome though. I have to say.
Yeah.
How can you
it's
say it's
glorious.
awesome if you never eat it? It's
Well,
disgusting.
I used to eat them all the time. I don't eat them anymore, but
got sick of them, eh?
well, no, it's just like one Whopper is like 3 times the amount of calories of a Big Mac. I think.
Really?
I think so.
No,
yeah.
I think they're about equal.
Well, probably, but it's
1,000
just,
calories.
it just feels like more.
Well, I remember one time I had a bit of the flu a few years ago,
A little bit of the flu.
and I was actually at work.
TMI?
TMI?
No, I don't know.
No. A non-COVID related illness.
Okay.
Yeah.
The flu.
And but I was craving a Whopper for some reason.
Huh.
And I was actually at work. So then I'm driving home and I'm like, I need to get a Whopper, but I don't think I can handle like the large Whopper. So I got a Whopper Junior,
Oh, jeez.
which is the Whopper, just small.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was fantastic.
Do you
I
remember
felt
the,
sick after.
Do you remember the mini
Worse.
burgers that they had at Burger King?
Yeah.
Where you'd get like a little 6-pack of mini burgers?
Yeah. No.
This episode brought to you
remember that.
by Burger King, home of the Whopper.
And Tim Hortons and,
And
McDonald's,
McDonald's, yeah,
apparently.
exactly.
Yeah.
A little more time for Burger King.
Yeah, we need a sponsor, everyone.
Which I have nothing
Just-
to contribute, by
Just
the way.
hints.
Yeah. So no, I mean, then I got to be known as Papa Whopper Jr. after that by one of my coworkers.
That's a long title.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
Papa Whopper Jr. because I like the
Whopper Juniors.
Whopper Juniors because they're only a few hundred calories less.
There we go.
Riveting. Pure riveting.
So,
It's podcast gold right
Did I
now.
tell you guys I got a new job offer?
Did you?
No kidding. I applied online to be a mystery shopper. And I never ever thought they would get back to me.
Why I'm not surprised by that.
That's a great one, eh? Well, you're the one kind of looking for work, so I got the app, right? And I get all these weird. I shouldn't say weird. I got all these really interesting jobs sent my way.
Do they pay for the merchandise?
How does this
work?
Let me explain
Yeah.
the offer that was presented to me. There was no actual like send a resume or nothing. It was like contact this email if you're interested. So I emailed. I said, said my age. I'm a fully employed individual, like not desperate for the job or anything, but yeah, I'm interested. It'd be neat to do something like that on the side if I'm already shopping anyways, right?
Yeah.
Got right back to me. You're a perfect candidate for Canadian Tire on
Oh.
Maryville Road
Oh.
is willing to pay $50 for you to spend 1 hour shopping, asking a series of questions to many departments, buying something, and then returning it.
Oh.
And seeing how they're extremely curious on how their employees are running the return system.
Okay. Okay.
All that for $50.
Yeah.
3 hours of work.
that
okay?
you couldn't pay me $50
No way.
to do that.
Well, it's not a money-making thing. I just think it sounds interesting.
Yeah. I find in my personal experience in
Yeah.
the past, I guess, I don't know, prior to 10 years, maybe it was good, but in the past 10 years, I find the service at Canadian Tire is terrible.
Well, this is what they want to fix.
trying to fix
and
it.
B,
Be
By
part of
having Duff
the
go in there and
I-
solution, JB,
I
not part of the
absolutely
problem.
hate returning things in general.
So you keep that attitude, it's not going to get any better.
Exactly.
But they'd have to pay me more. 50
Well,
bucks
that's what
isn't
I
enough.
thought.
That's just
I'm too
two,
busy.
I applaud Duff.
That's
Thanks.
two really
For doing
painful
this
things.
job.
Well, no,
Well, I'm
he
not
just,
doing
he
it.
just said he's too
I'm not
busy
doing
to
it.
do
I'm
it.
too busy. But if it was $200, then maybe I could find the time.
I mean, it's a necessary
Yeah.
thing.
See, that's my
Exactly.
point. Pay
Yeah.
me more.
Yeah.
That's a painful situation.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
have to talk to a
Yeah,
bunch of
50
kids.
bucks is not a
Yeah.
lot.
The problem is they made it sound like it was cut and dry, like an hour of prep and travel, an hour in the store, and an hour of follow-up. I'm like, yeah, I could see
50
that.
bucks.
I could see that taking me 6 hours.
Oh, easy.
You know?
Yeah.
But was cool, and I thought I just kind of like to get kind of on a list or something and then get offers here and there and say, because what would be cool is, hey, Tim Hortons on Eagleson needs you to go through the drive-through and actually evaluate the service for $20, like that sort of thing.
Princess Auto.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, that'd be...
That would be
See,
a
I
fun
could
one.
I could spend a couple hours in Princess
Yeah.
Auto.
Yeah.
For
For
sure.
$50
And
for
getting
free.
paid.
for free.
Yeah, I'll pay them.
Oh, there you go.
I'll buy stuff.
Well, you go back to that Indeed site, and they have a bunch of mystery shopper positions.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would look
maybe.
interesting.
I'll have
Maybe.
to look that up just
Yeah.
for fun.
I mean, maybe that's kind of last resort, like the military.
So Easter weekend, you went to Sudbury, DDT.
I did. I guess we should apologize that we didn't have a cast last week.
We had no cast.
Because we were all sort of preoccupied.
Maybe that was like our Easter
I
gift
was
to
in-
them that
Yeah.
we didn't have to submit them
Probably.
to
Yeah.
54 minutes of
Agreed.
Yeah.
painful stuff on an Easter weekend.
Exactly.
That was a good Easter
yeah.
weekend, though.
Although my brother, he gave me some feedback yesterday, and he said that he was upset that we didn't have a podcast last week
Yeah,
because he went to walk his dog and
No podcast.
no cast. So
I would agree.
yeah, so I guess we should apologize for not doing it.
I was
but,
the only one that was on
It was,
board.
it was a maintenance day.
I would have did it. I think DDT said no to
Well,
a few
it was-
options we gave.
Yeah,
Well, you were
I
good
was-
for Sunday.
I would've did Sunday
I wasn't
morning.
good for Sunday.
I think I was
You weren't
good.
good for Monday.
Right.
So
I was good for Sunday morning.
So it just all fell apart.
Well, it would have been a remote cast anyways.
Would have
which
been remote.
sucks.
Yeah.
So
All of us remote.
just
But it was
as
good
well.
though, because you were. I mean, the one we did where you were away on at the hotel.
Yeah.
Worked out well.
It worked out okay.
Yeah, that worked out
that was
right.
good.
Yeah, not the best sound quality, but
Nah, not
yeah,
the
it was
worst.
okay.
Not the best.
Did you go out of
As long as
town,
people can-
Duff?
We were in TO for the hockey tournament.
That's right.
That's it.
That's it.
Last hockey weekend of
How did your
daughter's hockey career.
Minor hockey.
minor
hockey
hockey
career.
league career.
how did she feel about that?
She was relieved it was over. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it was a good year, but a long year. Hockey's not meant to be played
My-
in April, I don't think, and she
Yeah.
feels the same.
My daughter was emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, she's not done. She's got more hockey in her future for sure, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was fun. They finally were kind of in a level where I feel they fit. They won some games and lost one and came home. So not a
Yeah.
bad way to finish it, really.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
And yes, I was in Sudbury.
Quarterfinals, right?
Something like that. Is that what it was? Yeah,
I
quarters.
think
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Out in the quarters. Yeah. C'est la vie.
Because typically, yeah, the Saturday evening game will
Yeah.
be quarters, and then the Sunday morning is sort of semis.
Yeah,
your
right. It
final in the
was
afternoon.
It was a neat tournament though. Yeah, like lots of games. Like you were guaranteed 5 games, I think. Like that's unheard of.
Yeah.
4 I think it was like that. Anyways.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good.
So, and we're back in the F-150 studio.
Yeah, we're back.
This week it's getting a little stuffy in here because it's warmer out. Maybe
The
you should
sun,
open the back window.
The greenhouse effect.
Maybe.
Should you open the
Yeah.
back window? Maybe.
I don't want to hear JB complaining about
No,
his
we're good now.
neck.
You
We're
can you
good?
can open it up a little bit.
Well, I'm going to have to start the truck to get the battery
no, you
on.
just-
So
I'm going to
we-
Do this? How's that work? Doesn't work, man. I got to turn it on.
Yeah, it's okay. Sound effects.
That's
we
fine.
need sound
Sound
effects here
effects.
and there. So
Anyway,
I went.
yes, I was in Sudbury.
Yeah,
Yeah,
finish
good.
the Sudbury.
Yeah, I was
line.
went up to Sudbury.
And you were good. It was fun.
Great dinner.
Yeah.
I brought a 12-kilogram turkey.
Now,
up
were you
there.
guys eating meat on Good Friday up there? It looked
No.
like it, eh? No, that spread you showed. Yeah. You weren't. Or you
No,
were.
I did.
You did, yeah.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
Which is a bit. I was surprised too that
I was
my
mentioning
mother-in-law
that.
put that
Uh-huh.
out.
Me too. That's why
Yeah,
I
she
was,
usually doesn't, but I
yeah,
don't know.
I was mentioning
why.
that to
She
some
did.
buddies at work, and
I didn't even think about it
I was
either.
She usually
surprised.
puts out fish, which she did have,
But
she
threw
had
some
fish.
meat in there as well.
but through some meat. Thankfully, I like the meat. But
As we were texting about that, I was sitting with a giant pastrami sandwich in front of my face.
That's true.
and I realized after I ate it,
Yeah,
I
you
read the
sent a
text,
pic-
and I'm like,
pic-
oh yeah,
pic of that, eh?
I forgot.
Well, you
it's
were
Good
on
Friday.
holiday. You were in New York,
were.
so
Oh, yes, that's
It's
right.
hard,
Yeah,
it's
you were
hard.
in New York for a couple
Oh
days.
my
eh?
gosh, it was so nice.
New York City.
After 2 years,
the big
Big
smoke.
Apple. Big
just
Apple.
crossing the border, going into the U.S., visiting our friends to the south.
Fun.
It was just so nice
Good for you.
to go back. And there's something about New York City, you know. There's just
I don't like it.
It's just so much life, so much stuff going around, so many buildings, so many things you've seen in TV shows or movies. It's just it's a really cool place. I really
I can't
enjoy
believe you drove into New York City, though. I've been once, and that was enough for me. I enjoyed it,
Yeah.
but I would never drive into it.
I've driven every time, right into Manhattan, and just
Yeah, that
Right-
surprises me.
right to
That's
the
crazy.
hotel. And you usually can't park at the hotel, so you have to find like some
Place where
parking
they
garage.
put it on an elevator and tuck it away.
No,
on
well
you.
there are those.
Yeah.
there are those. We didn't do the.
I would
the,
never treat the F-150.
We didn't do the
like
Hot
that.
Wheels
No.
Hot Wheels parking. We actually
No.
found an underground parking garage and left our car there for the 2 days, and then
Okay.
we just kind of walked around the rest of the time.
It was convenient.
It was awesome. Yeah, it was awesome. It was really, really nice, and it's only 6.5, 7 hours away, and it was
It's
spring
easy,
there.
And you missed out on a tremendous opportunity to catch the Jays, and you didn't. I couldn't believe that.
Were
You
they
there.
playing?
He was there when the Jays were there.
Oh, yeah?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah,
never
of
told me
course.
that.
Well, I shouldn't have to. First
How
of
would
all.
I know? I don't watch baseball.
Yeah, that's another disappointment. Yeah. Yeah, because the stadium was half empty. You could have easily got
Or
seats.
was it half full?
half empty?
Okay.
We
As a
had
Jays fan.
one full day there, and we just decided to walk around and just
around.
explore and go everywhere.
You went to some diner that I never heard of, where some
Katz's Diner.
actors went.
Yeah.
We went to Katz's Diner, which
It's
is
famous.
like a 103-year-old
It's not
diner.
famous to me.
Very, very famous.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, if you're into pulp culture, and all that
Delicious
crap,
food.
Yeah.
So we could. Let me get rid of one pick right now. So
Yeah, do your pitch.
So this will be a Lanark pick related to our trip to New York City, where we went to Katz's Diner,
Perfect.
Lanark
where they filmed a very famous scene of the movie When Harry Met Sally.
Is that your Lanark pick?
That is my Lanark pick,
It would be funny if you
which
said no.
is When Harry Met Sally,
Very much. I've heard of that. I think.
which was
I'm not quite sure if that's a Lanark
1989.
type of show. I know the year,
Yeah,
but that's not a Lanark.
No. it's just-
I think it could. Well, it's all about the year.
it's a rom-com. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Rom-coms are not really.
Billy
Well, I'm
Crystal
sure
and
there's
Meg
people in
Ryan.
Lanark that are romantic.
Really?
Probably
and
a few.
yeah, but it's a comedy though,
Yeah.
right? It doesn't have to be an Arnold Schwarzenegger
No.
action movie.
Well, I think
Agreed.
it does.
Anyway, so do you guys remember this
Well,
scene?
mine will fit your bill.
Okay,
A
great.
little better.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Do you guys remember this scene?
Yeah, I remember the scene from
Okay.
When Harry Met Sally in the diner.
So they're in the diner and they're talking, they're having a conversation, and they're talking about faking it in the bedroom.
yes. Yeah.
And she
Faking
says
an orgasm.
She says, "Oh yeah, there's like totally, it happens all the time." And he's like, "I would totally know. I would totally know. There's no way anybody could get away with that." So she Meg Ryan, then proceeds to fake
Her orgasm.
in the middle of the restaurant, and his face obviously drops. And then when Meg Ryan is done, so to speak, the lady sitting at the table across from her looks to the person in the restaurant and goes, "I'll have what she's having."
Yeah, now you remember that.
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so,
So-
super famous scene. So we're
Yeah,
sitting in
yeah.
that diner, which was
So
awesome.
did you and
Okay.
your wife reenact that? scene?
No.
You didn't reenact it?
We did not.
Oh.
We did not.
Okay.
But
Imagine how many people do. They must get so sick
Oh,
of people
yeah.
doing
but the
that in there.
food was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed it. It was a great experience. It was a great trip.
Good.
Great Easter. Came back. Did the Easter egg hunt with the kids. My 18-year-old and my 14-year-old ran around the house looking for Easter eggs,
Oh, wow.
which is awesome.
That's unique.
And
We did the Easter egg hunt too in Sudbury.
it was a good time.
Yeah, but your kid's like in grade 7 or something.
Yeah. But, he's going to be 13 and still.
Still likes the eggs.
Well, yeah, and my daughter, who is 17, kind of was upset she didn't get to partake because
Oh, really?
she slept in.
Well, that's
Oh,
her fault.
well,
That's
yeah.
her
I
fault.
know,
You're not going
right?
to wait till 3 o'clock.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
Look at that big flag.
That's a big
Is there
flag.
like another freedom rally today?
There is
somewhere?
next weekend.
Wow. Yeah.
Apparently.
Are you part
The
of the
bikers.
organizing this time?
The bikers. So I got to get my bike ready. Go do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah.
So so speaking of New York,
Yes. Oh, I got a story about New York.
speaking of New York,
Yeah.
do you want to get into your story first?
It's a quick one.
Okay, do that.
Wow.
Are you sure it's a quick
Yeah,
one,
yeah.
or
It's
is it a
quick.
Duff
It's not,
quick
it's
story?
not a Duff quick story. It's
Okay.
it's an actual quick story. So a few years ago, I'm in New York for work. Right. I've been to New York a few times for work.
Yeah.
And I'm walking in Manhattan. I forget what street, but anyway, stop at the street corner for the light. I get a tap on my shoulder.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, here we go. Because, I got equipment with me, whatever. Here we go. What's going to be some crazy dude from New York, right?
Yeah.
I turn around. It's a buddy from my soccer team.
No.
Yes, seriously.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. From my soccer. I played soccer back then a few years ago.
Yeah.
It's a buddy from my soccer team.
And he's like, hey,
Downtown,
DDT,
yeah.
what are you doing here?
Yeah, exactly. Downtown Manhattan, like
It's funny how
Times
that
Square or
happens.
whatever.
Like a few years ago, we drove from Winnipeg to Vancouver Island, and on a cross country trip essentially, and then we're in Banff, and we get out of the car to go visit Lake Louise, and we're actually walking by, and as we're walking by this lady and a little boy, my son looks over and goes, "Hey," and then we just keep walking, and then I'm like,
Hey, what?
well, what just happened? Like, who did you say hi to? He goes, oh, that guy's the guy from my class. I'm like, what?
Wow.
He goes, yeah, he's in my class. I'm like, but
Hey.
well,
and
we're
they
in
just keep
Banff.
walking like it's
Yeah,
nothing.
like it wasn't
Yeah.
like nothing happened,
It's
right?
like everybody from that class or Stittsville visits Banff.
Exactly.
Every now and
So,
then.
it was so random. Anyway, we went back and
Well-
talked to the mom and stuff like that. They're still buddies. It's funny, but
That's
it's just
pretty funny.
a couple of years later, I'm in at the aquarium in Toronto.
Yep.
Of course, what do I run into?
Ripley's.
Another guy from my soccer team.
that's
Oh,
funny.
jeez.
Yeah,
How many soccer
Crazy.
teams did you play on?
one. That was
One
the
soccer
crazy
team.
thing.
One soccer team.
One soccer team for years. And I keep running into guys that played on the team.
Oh, jeez.
So
eh?
speaking
New York
of
City was the weirdest one. Though.
speaking of New York,
Yeah.
so we can segue.
Oh.
So we're speaking of something that's not New York, probably coming up.
Well, it is New
I'm
York,
interested to
but,
hear what it is.
it's not really New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Guy Lafleur passed away,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
week.
yes. Yeah.
which is a giant loss to
New York
the
Ranger.
to the hockey
Famous New
world.
York Ranger.
Famous New York Ranger.
Did he play anywhere else?
Quebec Nordiques?
Yeah,
The
he played
Nordiques
for
and the
Nordiques.
Rangers,
I don't know.
yeah.
Did he play for some other
No.
team?
I think that was it.
No? Yeah, no.
That is a huge loss. He's from this area.
5-time. He was from Turso.
Masson?
Turso.
Masson?
Yeah.
Close to-
Turso.
He was from Turso.
Turso.
Close to Masson Angers.
Yeah,
yes.
very, very close. Just
Okay.
like 15 minutes, 10 minutes away.
Which was where my ex-wife's aunt and uncle actually still live, just
Your
outside
first-
of
your first
Turso.
wife?
Yes.
Yeah.
My starter marriage wife.
Yeah. Right
So
on.
I grew up being a big fan of Monsieur Lafleur and the Montreal Canadiens because my dad was a Habs nut. So we essentially spent
Same
a whole
here.
bunch of time watching the Habs all the time and,
Yeah.
and following the hockey career and all that stuff. And we actually went to the Forum quite a few times to see some hockey games. And we were actually at the Forum for Guy Lafleur's last game as a Montreal Canadian.
Mm.
Not when he retired.
Should explain what Duff just did.
No, I didn't want to
He's
distract you.
ripping his sweater apart.
Yeah, so he's wearing a sweatshirt where the arm is actually ripping
Yeah, that's
apart. He
better.
just decided to rip
That's
that in the
make it
middle of
worse.
the middle of my story.
Finish
Exactly.
your story about Guy
Just-
Lafleur.
So anyway, so I was a big fan. We actually saw his last game in Montreal
Yeah.
before he retired, and then he came back as a New York Ranger, and then went to Quebec Nordiques to finish his career.
It's always sad when
He
they
retired
leave at
and
the end.
came back 4 years later or something. 3 years.
3 years,
3
yeah.
years later.
And
Really?
I actually, a lot of people don't know that from the Rangers, he had an offer to go play for the Kings, where he would have had the opportunity of playing with Gretzky. Anyway,
Huh. I
It
did
could have
not
been
know
a
that.
yeah.
He probably
Anyway,
scored another 50 if he played
so
with Gretzky.
I have a 1979 vinyl album of that was put out by Guy Lafleur.
We
Which
should
is
actually take a picture for Twitter.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
could
we
do
should.
that.
Yeah.
I
where
could do
it,
that.
it actually has background music.
It's funny that they got an album.
It has background music with Guy Lafleur.
Cool. So in this picture, you'll see the F-150 studio background and Guy Lafleur
Lafleur. The flower.
on
as
a
they called
vinyl,
him.
like
And essentially what it is background music with him speaking en français, speaking in
That's
French.
in French.
Giving hockey advice on how to play hockey better.
that's cool.
From checking to shooting
Didn't
to
rub off on you, I guess. Eh?
No. There must have been a part about cement hands on that vinyl album. That's the only part
Rid of
that I
cement
remember.
hands.
Yeah. Anyway, so when
I
this
can't
week,
believe there was he put out an album like that.
this
That's
week I
hilarious.
was thinking about that. I know, and it's like
That's
it's
quite
spoken
funny.
word, like right.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
talking about
Yeah.
his hockey
Man
career
of
and
many
how to
talents.
play, and
That's cool.
he
I
did,
remember
yeah.
Guy. I mean, growing up in the 70s and early 80s and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like, how could you not? Actually, I was a fan of Guy Lafleur, even though I
Full
didn't like the
disclosure,
Canadians.
I wore number 10.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
awesome. Everybody
he was one of
wanted
my
to wear
favorite
number 10.
players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the hair flowing.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I miss about hockey today.
Well,
The-
I think
the no
he was.
helmets.
The no helmets, you get the hair and Guy's hair. They call him the, what was it, the Blonde Devil or something
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Le Diable Blond.
Le Diable Blanc.
But
His hair wasn't really blonde, but
No.
he was
Dirty
one of the
blonde.
last ones, I think, without helmets. I think Radek Bonk, who played for Ottawa, was the last player without helmet.
Radek
no,
Bonk
he
never
always
wore a
wore a
helmet.
helmet.
Who did?
Bonk wore a helmet.
Are you
all
sure
the
about
time.
that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ron Duguay, did he?
It
wear
was
a
like
helmet?
Craig McTavish was like probably
Yeah.
the last player
Yeah.
to not wear a helmet. But yeah, like just when Guy got streaking down that right wing
Yeah.
with his hair flowing
Yeah.
and then took a slap shot,
Against the Boston Bruins goalie
and scored
and scored many times.
many times.
Yeah.
And then in between periods, go have a cigarette.
Oh gosh.
He
I think he smoked a
He
ton.
smoked
eh?
a ton, yeah.
Old Guy.
That was the back in the day. Like, we didn't-
Everyone probably did, eh?
yeah, between periods, going out and having a beer and a smoke. And
Yep.
then today, training camp. The training camp back then is when guys came to get into shape.
Yeah,
To
because
play.
they were really out of shape.
Exactly.
Huh.
Partying all summer.
Yeah.
Now you have to be in shape when you
Yeah.
get to training camp.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Different world, eh?
Yeah. It's really
Yeah, you're
bad.
actually right. Craig McTavish
Craig McTavish.
Yeah.
was
There
the
you go.
last guy, so I don't know who that.
Oh,
that guy
fact
was.
check. Fact
I
check.
don't know who I was thinking about.
Fact check. Fact check.
Craig McTavish was the last guy to not wear a helmet in the NHL.
Yeah.
How are we doing for time?
Oh, we're at 26.
All right, so
27
we'll
minutes.
wrap it up with a couple more picks here.
Oh, you're really.
Yeah, you're just
Wanting-
itching to go.
I thought
Eh?
that was the plan.
No, that was your plan.
That was your, that was your plan.
So you ready for some detailed research here, JB?
What pick do we have for
I'm
you?
gonna we'll finish off the Lanark picks then
Okay,
with
Lanark.
mine, and it's kind of a funny one. It's not even that old. Maybe it's not a perfect Lanark pick. But you ever sit down to watch
how
the
old is it?
Netflix? I don't remember. JB's gonna have to tell us.
Oh, okay.
And you get a recommendation, and you're like, "Yeah, that's totally a movie I'd like or watch."
Yeah.
So you click on it, and
Yeah.
you're like, "Yeah, this is great." And then 20 minutes in, you're like, "Have I seen this before?" And then 21 minutes in, you're like, "I have seen this before."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you continue to watch it though, because it's pretty good. So I watched the whole damn movie twice. And what is the name of the movie, you wonder? It's called How It Ends on Netflix. How It Ends.
How it ends on the Netflix.
Yeah. So JD can give us some details in a minute.
J
but
who?
Who's JD?
JB.
Oh,
But it
I thought
generally,
you
I
were
thought you said
replacing me
JD.
there.
Yeah.
it generally is
We need
about.
Is it a
this guy.
2021 film or 2018
We need
film?
a
Because
fact
there's
check.
two How It Ends here.
It's the one where
Wait a second. 2018? That's not a Lanark pick.
It's the one where a guy is separated from his wife and new child in New York.
Just unfolding apocalypse.
Yes.
Okay, I don't think I've seen that.
It's quite mysterious as to what's actually happening, but everything just goes down. There's some sort of major seismic event on the West Coast.
Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 17%.
It's fantastic.
So that means
I
it
agree.
must be really good.
I agree. It's a
I never
Lanark
understood
pick.
Rotten Tomatoes. Is it the opposite?
It's a Lanark pick.
Yeah.
100%. So, without giving it all away, it's like he's in the airport.
Should I stop interrupting you?
He's trying to fly back, and then everything just goes dead in New York, too. So, it's kind of the story of him trying to get back to Seattle,
And
etc.
can we get a fact check on the year?
Fact check. Fact check.
Yeah,
I gotta write.
2018.
I gotta write these down.
2018.
I forgot.
Good show.
2018.
That's not a. That's not
That's
a.
not a
Lanark.
Lanark pick.
Well, I
That's not-
suggested for Lanark, maybe we can bring Lanark into the next decade with this one.
I don't think so.
I think so. I couldn't tell you any actors in it, but it's a show that's good enough. I watched it twice. How about that?
I'll have to go.
What's it called? Sorry.
How It Ends.
How It Ends.
On the Netflix. Lanark Pick of the Week number 2.
I don't like that.
That's not really
It's
a
not,
Lanark pick.
it's not about you, man.
I'm a bit disappointed.
I know it's about the listener, but
Yeah. It's about good quality viewing.
well, Lanark pick is more like when Harry met. Although I don't agree with that either. As a
Do you
Lanark
agree
pick.
with anything this morning?
I do. If we had something for me to agree with.
Huh.
Yeah.
So,
What's your regular pick then? Duff's pick of the week.
well, are we doing picks or are we wrapping it up?
What we can do? No, we're doing picks. We're
Okay.
not done. It's 20 minutes, man. His brother's not even done walking the
Wait, no,
dog yet.
he is. He just right now. It's 30. Just went over 30 minutes.
Okay.
Oh,
so,
he should keep
30:01.
walking. He should keep walking for a bit.
Maybe
so
the dog went for an extra long poop.
my latest binge-worthy series where I actually sat down and usually you're like, yeah, let's watch whatever. I'm not watching a lot these days because the Jays are on like every day, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Having a hell of a start, by the way, too. But there is a series we found that we could not stop watching. It was a mini-series or whatever. They got some funky word for these things now. Limited series?
A limited series.
It's a limited
right.
series.
Yes.
Maybe 7 or 8 episodes. And we were hooked like right away. And it's called Anatomy of the hell's it called? Anatomy of a... Oh my God.
Anatomy of a Scandal.
A Scandal. How did you know that? Did it just
'Cause
pop
you-
up when you
Because
researched?
you
You
told me
said
to
it
do
earlier.
research ahead of time.
Okay, Anatomy of a Scandal on the Netflix, and even though it's British,
British.
it's really good.
British.
It's really good.
The British ones are better
Well,
sometimes.
one of my favorite actors, God, I wish I knew his real name, but the guy that plays Peter in Homeland is the main guy.
Benedict Cumberbatch?
Is that his name?
No, I don't know.
Sienna
I
Miller.
just like that name.
What's the Peter guy?
Peter.
The main character in it is fantastic. He's a great actor.
James Whitehouse, Kate.
So he plays
Croft,
James
Sophie,
Whitehouse. James Whitehouse, that's the name of
Rupert Friend.
Fact check. Fact check.
Yeah.
As James Whitehouse.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, great series. He's an MP. Basically has an affair, but then gets charged with rape. And it's all about, is it his word against hers? And there's a tie-in to the prime minister at the time. It's
Bojo?
It's great. No, not actually. Anyways, that is my actual pick of the week. 7 or 8 episodes on Netflix. Totally binge-worthy. Rotten Tomatoes probably gives it more than 17, I'm assuming.
Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah. So maybe a bit modern for Lanark, but highly recommended for everyone else.
What's it called again?
Anatomy of a Scandal.
I saw that on the thing last night.
Was it recommended for you?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I ended up watching Prime,
Oh.
a video on
How do
Prime.
you afford all these different subscription services?
I can't.
Yeah.
I have to get rid of some.
I think we
So I'm gonna rewind a little bit. Brad Marsh is the guy I was thinking about, not
Oh, Brad
Radek
Marsh
Bonk.
with the helmet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Brad Marsh was one of the last ones to
Yeah.
not wear a helmet,
That's true.
and he played for Ottawa Senators. That's the one I was thinking
Yes.
of. I don't know why I said
Okay.
Radek Bonk.
I don't know either.
Brad Marsh.
So fact check again, delayed fact check, a whole bunch of fact checks,
Marshies.
God.
round of fact checks for everyone.
Friggin' do work here.
Fact check. Fact check.
Wasn't there a restaurant right in the rink called Marshies?
There
Yes,
was,
exactly.
yes.
That's what I was trying to remember. Because he
Oh,
retired
God.
as an Ottawa Center, opened
Okay.
up Marshies, which was his
Marshies.
restaurant.
Not the best
In
restaurant.
the Palladium at the time, as it was
Right.
known, I believe.
No, it was probably known as Scotiabank Place.
No, Palladium first, then Scotiabank Place, then
Okay.
Canadian Tire Center. Palladium was before they had the
Yeah,
big
corporate label.
corporate sponsors all
Yeah,
the time.
yeah.
So I have a pick as well.
Okay.
Another TV
Oh
show.
my God! What the?
2021.
on?
It's got 2 seasons. It is on the Hulu, I believe.
Oh no!
Is that a free subscription service?
It's actually on Disney as well.
Oh jeez!
It's called Only Murders in the Building.
What is? Why did they? They didn't put like.
And it's got Selena Gomez, Martin Short, and Steve Martin.
Selena
And a
Gomez,
slew
Martin
of
Short,
a
and
slew of
Steve
other pretty awesome actors.
Huh.
The premise is there's a death in this apartment building in New York City, and
Which where you just were?
these 3 characters decide to create a true crime podcast.
Ooh.
So they start a podcast, which is applicable to what's we're trying to do here.
Maybe we should do a true crime.
Trying.
True crime, and then this
Change our format
this
to true
podcast
crime.
is a crime.
They're very.
This podcast is
It's a crime to
They're
humanity.
very
It's
popular.
a crime against humanity. Exactly.
But anyway, it's a pretty good show. They start doing a podcast, and then they kind of investigate in the building, and there's a whole bunch of
You can change the name to "This
It's a lot of
podcast
fun.
is a crime."
An
So,
injurious waste
only
of
murders
crime.
in the building on Disney Plus and Hulu.
Huh.
There you go.
What does Rotten Tomatoes give it?
16%.
That's a good question, actually. I should. Rotten Tomatoes gives it 100%.
Shut up.
100% right there.
Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which would mean that it's horrible, but it's actually really good. It's actually quite funny. It's definitely worth watching. So the only other item that I had on the list, gentlemen, was Earth Day. What did you boys do
what's
for
that?
Earth Day?
What's
Earth Day
that?
activities?
Day.
What's
Earth
that?
Week
What's that?
was this past week, and then
Good
Earth Day was on Friday. Where typically I think you're supposed to shut all your electronics down from 7 to 10.
Oh, God.
It
What?
used to be 7 to 10 or something like that, where you just
What's Earth Day?
Those symbolic gestures I can't stand because they do way more harm than good. You get all these Karens and soccer moms and dads around North America thinking they're going to save the planet because they're going to turn the lights off for an hour. And then they're back to normal,
3
and then
hours.
they're burning more energy after that to make up for whatever they
they-
lost out
they
on for that hour.
turn an extra light on.
I can't stand it. It's such a shame. And then the whole Earth Day thing, like, people have tuned out. Like, people are
Yeah, I
done.
don't even know what it is.
We would sometimes
Yeah.
take advantage of that back when the kids were a little younger. To
I'm
just,
sure you did.
To
Yeah.
shut the TV off and play some board games. Right,
Yeah.
it's just an
Still
excuse.
had a light
to,
on.
Yeah.
Oh,
for
oh,
1 hour,
sure.
and
Yeah,
then
for
everybody
sure.
went right back and argued over.
Everybody goes back to their devices,
Yeah.
unfortunately. And,
Yeah.
But anyway, it was just.
So it's-
I don't even know anything about it.
But it should be more of a practice than just a one-time thing, right?
absolutely.
It'd be a little better if everybody just stayed off their phones.
It's like
after dinner.
It's like Valentine's Day, right? Where
Yeah.
you're kind of running off as you're picking up a case of beer at the beer store,
Ugh.
and somebody's selling flowers on the outside. And you
Ah,
pick
yes.
up a bouquet of flowers, you know,
Yeah.
instead of actually trying to be thoughtful and
Yeah.
think
No.
Well,
about those things throughout the year. You buy flowers all year round, I assume.
No.
DDT.
No. I'm like that. I'll go and then I'll take extra long to make the decision though, on which bouquet to buy.
On Valentine's Day.
Yeah, like put a little bit of thought into it.
Yeah.
If it's a little expensive, then I'll go for the cheaper one.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I put a little thought into it.
So you guys think spring is actually going to make it this year?
It's supposed to be 19 tomorrow.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's been.
But then down to 6.
Oh gosh.
I think we forget this is spring. I think we're all wanting summer.
What
right away,
happens
eh?
is this is normal, right?
This is pretty normal.
Yeah, like it's like no spring, and then all of a sudden
That's
summer.
a good point. We've
Yeah.
the past few years we've actually been really lucky.
Had
where
some very warm springs, and
Yeah.
I think
this is a typical spring, maybe,
I think so, but we're all ready for 25 for sure.
but
You
it's been
could,
folly.
You've seen Calgary?
No,
They're getting snow, man.
Kenora got
Yeah.
hit by
Got
like
huge snow.
I think 20 centimeters of snow last weekend. It was crazy.
wow, which again is probably not super rare
Not for there.
to get snow in northern Ontario in April.
Nope.
But that's a lot of snow.
Yeah, sure.
Nope. In Calgary too. Well, you know what? We're at 38, 39 minutes.
What do you got, Duff?
I think we
got anything else?
can give the listeners.
What do you got, DDT?
If my
break.
brother's dog had an extra long poop, he might be still listening.
Maybe yeah.
Yeah.
I'm good. Unless you guys have anything else,
I don't got nothing.
can wrap it up.
Yeah.
That's Cop Car Coffee.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We,
It's good.
We forget we're aiming for 40 minutes. Right?
we came prepared.
Not
but
an
we
hour.
just
I
didn't.
didn't come.
Hopefully the poor listener doesn't feel how painful it was.
I think we did too many picks. We need to have different content. Yeah. Can't do 4 picks.
Yeah, 4 picks is a lot.
Yeah.
Well, at least we came prepared, though. We had content.
Well, you came prepared. Yeah.
Oh, you did too.
Well, you were ready by 6 this morning.
I had 2 picks. That was it. I had no compost pits to fall in. I had nothing cool about my own trips or
Well,
anything.
my New York trip was story was good.
No. JB's was good. Yours was wanting.
Ouch.